And we're live. Hello and welcome to the Giggity Racing League as we have our custom setup Xfinity series, our Proving Ground series, getting ready to go here tonight. They have 3 races. First one is at Talladega, followed by Kansas, and then Watkins Glen. So 3 different types of races. I'm pretty excited for this. Speaking to you right now is myself, KTaddy6369. In here I'm joined by Edtho and Sports Legend.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Glad to be here tonight.
Gonna be some good racing tonight, guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Talladega's gonna be a beast also. Looking forward to seeing them run on Watkins Glen too. That's gonna be interesting.
You think we're gonna see the big one tonight?
Oh yeah, probably so. These guys are pretty good. They're professionals, but sometimes slip-ups happen, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. All in all, you know, I haven't really gotten to be in the booth yet for these custom setup races. But I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. You know, the Xfinity group, there's some fast sellers out there. I'm trying to get on our website here now, or our Facebook page. To any viewers, if anybody's watching now or will watch later, we have a Giggity Racing League Facebook. If you want to check our points, maybe see who's won some races, go on and get on there and check it out. I'm looking now for Thursday points. And it looks like we have Jake across the top of the leaderboard. That's kind of a given. He's been dominating this season as he drives this 10 car that you guys are seeing on your screen now. Followed by Woodruff. What's he run? The 93, I think. Ed, you've run a lot of races this season with these guys. Who are you looking at as your top contenders?
As I'm looking at the sign-up sheet, you know, Woodruff is going to be there. I think Jake definitely is going to be up top in most of the races. Talladega is like a big curveball, so it's really hard to tell who's going to win that one. But as far as mile and a half and road courses, Jake's pretty much the pick, man. He's been fast at every single one of them.
Yeah, that's true. Jake, he's hard to bet against. We do have some new members. We have somebody that a lot of people have been pretty excited about. We have a J Wood Racing, and Little Man is returning for his custom Xfinity debut this season. To people that don't know, Little Man is last season's custom Xfinity champion, so I'm excited to see how he does here too.
He also, Dirty South, 3 new guys running tonight on Matt Thiessen. He really impressed me in the developmental races, and I got Crazy Bratton in there and Fat Patch. They're both pretty good drivers. So you might see either one of those up top too.
Yeah, one of them is in the 89, right? Matt Thiessen's in the 89 car tonight?
Yep, he's running the 89 car tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it on the screen here so people can see some of these guys' cars so they know who to look for. 39, no one's in that. Let's see.
Fat Patch will be in the 82 car, the blue and white car.
And I'm looking through this list. I'm a little disappointed being the captain of the underdog team, and I see absolutely 0 underdogs signed up. Here's the 86 car for Fat Patch that you'll be seeing him on the track later tonight. Is he running the black and blue or the brown one?
The black and blue.
That's a nice looking car.
Matt Thiessen is running the brown one. Morgan Shepherd's car. Brown and black.
Well, the 86 actually has 2 paint schemes. That's what I was asking. It's got a brown,
he's
black,
gonna run
and white.
He's going to run the black and blue.
I think somebody signed up with the 22. Nope. The 51, that's going to be the J Wood car. I'm thinking he's probably also going to go with this black and blue paint scheme. There's some pretty nice paint schemes going down through here.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Those guys should be getting ready to start.
Yeah, actually, I believe Robbie just said now in the broadcast chat. Will one of you guys accept to find out if it is? I don't want to join early here.
Yeah, I'll accept it real quick. Let's see if they're going. Yep, they are going. Qualifying's going right now, so.
Qualifying's going?
Yep.
Okay.
1 out of 5 laps.
Alright.
So I'm definitely going to need a new invite.
Yeah, when we get in there, Sports Legend, I don't know if you can hear me, but when we get back in there, if you could send Ed Though an invite. Also, guys, we got to remember to invite Mills and Arkham when we get in there.
Yep. Loading up to watch qualifying right now. I can kind of give you a indication who's running up front.
Yeah, qualifying's a little bit of a different breed as, you know, everybody's out on the track and you're getting some draft laps. And so at Talladega, the car that is by itself the fastest car will not probably be the one starting on the pole, as he'll be the car in front of the pack, and everybody getting that draft off him is what's going to put them on the pole.
Yep. Looks like that's what Woodruff Sport's doing right now. He's kind of holding back, trying to catch that drive.
Yeah, sometimes what I like to do in super speedway qualifying is I like to set myself about a half a second behind the car in front of me when there's, you know, 3-4 of us. If I'm the back in line, I'll let the other guys get about a half a second ahead of me, and then let the draft catch me up, and it usually puts you about 2 to 3 tenths quicker than the other cars at the end of qualifying.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
We got Honey watching the broadcast. What's up, homie? That is one of the underdog drivers that's going to try to catch Watkins Glen. He's another new driver. I believe he's just going to run a slider instead of custom, but for a lot of these preset road course ringers, that's just as good as most people's custom setups.
Yep, most definitely.
Another thing to mention here is we have this game is the NASCAR Heat 4. To anybody that watching the broadcast or not, they're doing something interesting now. They have the practice for the esports qualifying going up now, sorting everything out. We got a few drivers in the league that have been auditioning, trying to get their name on the board.
Yeah, I think Nucco Racing's the one to look out for that, man. He's really fast everywhere, too, and I think he is a pro league driver.
He was top 50 last year, so, I mean, he's about as close as you can get without hitting the mark.
Yep. You might also see Jake in the mix somewhere, too.
That's true, especially with him getting into more of these custom setup type races.
Yep.
I think if UK tries out, he has a good chance of getting up there too.
Oh yeah, UK, he's quick. That's only 5-lap qualifying, so they should be coming to an end of that here shortly. Eto, how many cars you got in that qualifying?
Looks like 15.
15 qualifying?
Yeah, 15.
That's a pretty good field.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I think they just finished qualifying.
Alright, with that said, we should be getting pretty close to going green flag here. This is the first race, mind you. There's 3 events tonight. How cool is that? 3 completely different tracks. There's this race is going to be pretty short. This first one's only a 25% race, and in Xfinity, that goes by pretty quick. We're probably looking at about 40 to 50 laps, maybe. Sorry for the short race, guys. I know everybody likes seeing these longer races. The reason we're doing that, though, is with 3 races to get through. It's going to take a little while. Now, Kansas, high, wide, and heavy track. That's going to be a 50% race, as is Watkins Glen. So we're hoping for a good night of racing. And like I said, we got a few people that might be joining for the later races. And at the same time, some people might be racing just Talladega.
Yep.
Talladega is one of those tracks you really don't want to miss because it's like, it's the luck of the draw and who your draft partner is.
We got Woodruff on the pole, Little Man starting second, Jay Wood third, Trey's fourth, Matt B.W. is fifth. That's your top 5. So, and there was 14 cars. So, and
Trey's going to send another round of invites, actually.
Okay.
You can back out.
All right.
We got 3 people watching. Actually, I think there's only 2, as I'm one of them. I like watching on my phone so I can see some comments. Anybody watching, if you have anything to say throughout the race, please don't be afraid to comment or ask questions. I'm hoping for some good racing here tonight. As you see, this 11, that's going to be Pendle. I'm going through a few more of these cars here. Of course, I say that. I'm going through a bunch of my drivers that aren't here tonight. And back to the 10 that Jake will be running, so we've seen all the cars.
We only have 1 underdog running tonight, is that what you're saying?
We have 0 underdogs running in the events.
Okay.
Hunty may make Watkins Glen, and if so, he will be the sole underdog.
Yeah, I raced him some last week. He's a pretty fast guy too.
Yeah, he's a quick fella. Etho, you mentioned it there earlier. Dirty South Racing coming up here into next season. You're a new captain. I don't know if you've got to mention that on the broadcast. How are you feeling about that?
Man, I'm feeling ecstatic. I'm glad to be a part of Giggity, man, and getting to put my own team together, and getting the fun part is getting to watch developmental and seeing those guys running fast and picking them up and giving them a chance to run.
Yeah, I know.
That's my main thing.
Personally, on that same aspect, man, to me, it's the greatest feeling to be somebody that has a team and being able to pick some of these guys up. Sports Legend, I knew him a little bit before we had the draft last season. I picked him up. He's top 5 in our truck series. You're doing a great job, man, but I know that he was one of the most excited people to be picked up, and so thankful to be on a team. It's really cool seeing this with some of these drivers.
Yeah, man, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I couldn't thank you enough when you drafted me, and I was just glad to be part of the team.
Alright, we can take the invites now, guys. Make sure that somebody sends Mills and Arkham an invite.
I need one too.
Okay. Sports Legend, can you get that?
Yeah, I'm already in.
Can you invite me?
Can you invite Ed, though?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to go to the race then.
And then I'll invite Mills and Arkham.
Yeah, I just didn't want a blue screen again.
Okay.
I'm loading in now.
I'm loading in now and inviting Arkham.
If anybody does anybody have Pendle on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, he's broadcasting, so we'll be able to see lap time. We have Woodruff, looks like he's fallen to second, starting on the pole, the number 8. I'm not sure who's in that 8 car. Let's do the start lineup here. Lil Man's in the 8. He's off into the lead. With Jay Wood following Woodruff. Custom car shortly behind that.
Woodruff takes a high line, trying to get somebody to follow him. Hogan bolts.
trying to get some of these different cameras here. Matt BW, D Smith in the field tonight. Kind of get everybody a little look at each of the cars here. Nuts is falling off pace as he's lost the lead pack. Oh, Thirst here in the 7. I forgot about him. He's a hot seat driver, one of our truck regulars. Matt Thiessen looks like he's here towards the back. Little 5-car pack that's lost the lead. 6-car pack that's lost the lead group. The 86, there's your other boy, Matt, or Fat Patch. If they get together, you know, and run a straight line, they might be able to catch this lead pack. Here comes Crazy Bratton in the 87.
Yeah, I actually don't have any other guys on YouTube tonight. I thought Jake Garou was going to be broadcasting, but I guess he decided not to. Looks like these guys are just calming down, just running their race right now, trying to count some laps down.
I'm watching this. Gonna lead this lap.
Yeah, I'm watching the second pack. It's there's some good drivers back there. I think the 21 is Bob. We got the 10 of Jake back here. The 11 of Pendle, Bolt Crusher. We got your 89, your 86. Those guys are back here. Definitely some fast guys that have lost this lead group. Robbie Viz, good run for him in the top 5.
Maybe they might have a pit strategy to get up front, or maybe even take way over the lead.
Yeah. Looks like something happened to Nuts. He's falling way back the drive. He might have had a little tangle there. Yeah, it shouldn't be long, that second pack. You should catch that first pack with Jake Garou leading. Like I said, he's a fast guy. One of my guys back in the second pack, Matt Thiessen. At the tail end of the second pack is Fat Patch.
We got D Smith running up here in the front pack also. We're gonna basically lose for third place right now.
Yeah, but 08 at D Smith's doing a great job there in third. Looks like he's getting a little loose, losing a little bit of his line. But Little Man and Jay Wood, newcomer, again last year's champion and a newcomer to the league, running first and second, are doing a great job here.
D Smith takes it.
Ooh, D Smith gets into the side of Jay Wood.
I think that's the end of stage 1.
Oh yeah, 25% races. Nah, 25% races. These stages are gonna fly by.
Yep, that's right. Short. Yeah, I don't have no pit vendors. I don't have him on my YouTube.
I have him on mine. Let me go ahead and see if I can't pull him up.
Looks like Jake might have taken the top, probably about 12. I'd say top 12.
Quite a few. Woodruff's broadcasting.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they had a little lap 1 tussle there.
I'm not seeing any live broadcast right now.
Hey, Mills.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Pretty good, buddy. How about yourself?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Work, ready to do some racing.
Here's the beginning of stage 2.
Yeah, it is.
Got Jake Garou stuck up on the high side. He's trying
to make something happen. Looks like a Bob sitting in the cat burglar seat now, riding in P2.
We was on here practicing earlier, and I'll tell you, man, it's so hard to pass on the outside. You almost have to have 3 cars against 1 to pass on the outside here in these Xfinity cars.
Yeah, that draft is just so strong.
Yep. Cup cars a little different. You can put, 2 cars side by side and pretty much hang with them, But with these Xfinity cars, man, 1 car can be on the bottom, and it took me a whole 2 laps to push 1 guy around 1 car on the bottom by itself. So it's a little bit difficult to pass here. my strategy in these races is always I try to watch for the guys that slide up off the yellow line and get my nose in there, and then that's when I can make passes. But
one thing you have to think about though is with the short race in this one, are you going for some tires or are you going for mostly gas? Or maybe even 2 tires?
Man, I think with how short it is, it's still ×3 wear, so probably through these stages you're going to go without getting any fuel, without getting any tires. But once you come to the end of the stage, you know, it's not a bad idea to get tires, but if everyone else is going to, and you do no tires, you could be in and out of the pits and end up with some pit strategy giving you the lead. I might think about doing that myself. Oh, looks like Trey gets into the wall. The 7, not so sure. Oh, Thirst got him into the wall. Going back to the leaders here.
21 just got by.
Bob does take the lead with Pendle.
Yep.
You know, back to what you were saying there, Ed, though, it is very, very hard to pass on the outside by yourself. And it's even harder to do when they're nose to tail like you're seeing here in this lead pack. You almost have to have almost a gap between the guys. You have to lay back about a half a second, get that crazy fast run, catch it on a straightaway, be able to pull out, get by one, and back in line.
Yep, absolutely.
I agree.
I can probably count the times that I've seen it on Heat 4 on one hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pulled off successfully.
Yeah,
It's not a
especially
very
as a
easy thing
single
to
car.
do.
No, definitely not. See, Nuts is back up in the field now. He's caught that draft and he's running with the main pack again.
Just the corners. Sorry.
Actually, that's the second pack. And Matt Thief's leading the second pack now.
Woodruff takes the high line following the 51, trying to make some moves.
Yeah, Nuts, Matt, and Others need to get in line.
Actually, one of the guys that we failed to mention was Bulk. Didn't he win this race last week?
On Saturday?
Yeah. And didn't he win Saturday?
Volk, I believe did he win Talladega or did he win Kansas? He was a winner last week for sure. Whether or not it was Talladega.
I'm pretty sure it was Talladega because I remember him winning in on fuel mileage, I think.
Getting racy at the front of the pack here, guys. Oh, contact.
Yep. Heavy contact. Robbie Gibbs almost loses it. Caution
They're
comes
still
out.
beating on each other.
You know, I'm thinking that was the front stretch, right? I'm thinking that might have been the end of the stage. They were fighting real hard. Again, 25%. 25%. You're only going to have 3 to 5 laps per stage. And
Coming
then about
to
a
the
20 lap
third stage, these guys are going to get really racy.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Some of that patience you've been seeing, and it's going to go out the window.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to start
Everybody
trying
wants
that
that
high
line.
line. And, yep.
You know, and you were right. I just checked on the Giggity Racing League Facebook page. Bolt Crusher did win Talladega. And with that said, as we go to Kansas here right after this race, Habab was the Kansas race winner.
And he's actually running in third place right now, so he's kind of in the catbird seat.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty.
Getting ready
he should get the run on the second place car.
Yep.
You guys are all lined up again? You're get ready to go back for the third race.
With the pit stop shaking it up, he ended up in around
8th place, it looks like.
Yep, 8th place on the outside, so he needs to dive on the inside quick as he can.
Do you think we're going to be seeing pit stops in this last stage?
Because it's on 3 times wear, I'm going to say likely, but I'm uncertain.
Yeah.
Ooh, it looks like a little contact there in the back. Not sure who it was.
Yeah, heavy contact between Bulk and Woodruff.
Looks like he's gathered that together well. Good job for him. That's really hard to stay up to speed and not cause a crash coming back onto the track off the apron in the middle of the corner.
Very hard.
You know, we were talking about how Bulk might be sitting in the Cat Burglar seat there after winning last week and being in third, but Habab, last week's Kansas winner, was in the Cat Burglar seat. He started third. He's right there behind Jay Wood, looking real good here. I'm not sure if that's his teammate or not. No, Habab's on Team Noco, and Who's that in third? These custom cars get tricky. Matt BW83.
Yeah.
I'm
And when
not
it
so
comes
sure
back
what team he's on.
to the practice that I was talking about earlier, actually Jay Wood was out front, and Crazy Bratton was behind him, and I was behind Crazy Bratton, and it took us a whole lap and a half running the outside to pass him with just that single car, and us two trying to pass him. So he's got a strong car here tonight too, to be able to hold that inside with two cars trying to pass on the outside.
Someone else we haven't talked about that I'm seeing run a really good, clean, smooth line is 07 of Robbie Vidd sitting in 4th place. With how far back he is, I think, you know, a few laps left or something like that, if he wanted to make a move to the outside. As Bob goes to the outside now, looks like Matt BW is going to get under him and take a second away, and Robbie Vids is going to follow. As I was saying, these guys that are a little bit farther back, 3rd, 4th, 5th place, those are the guys to watch. If they make a run to the outside, the whole rest of the pack may go with them. The guy in 2nd sticks out. The guy in 3rd is probably going to try to get underneath him and get 2nd. But the guy from 3rd, 4th, 5th, if they make a move, expect the whole pack to go with them.
Yeah, most definitely.
You're going to see that high line running if they can all just get together.
You're seeing a few up there now. Others looks like Little Man's trying to make some moves. Nuts gets pushed to the outside. Looks like he's trying to get back down. He does successfully. Looks like he might have made a little contact with the car.
21's making a run at 2nd place here on the outside.
Robbie Vids looks like he's going to the outside to help him.
Yep.
I just don't think it's enough cars.
Gonna complete it by an inch.
He makes the
You can
moves,
see
yeah.
that they want to take the high line, but I think they're just too scared to lose those positions.
Now those
Yeah,
two are
yeah.
teammates. The 21 and the 07 are teammates. So the 07, although he lost a spot, did exactly what he wanted to and helped Bob get up there and take that 2nd place away.
Crazy Bratton was running in 7th, but it looked like he kind of slipped up the track a little bit and letting Jake Rube go underneath him there. They're trying to get something running on the
Ooh,
outside.
3
but
wide. Jake on the
it's
inside.
pretty hard.
Robbie under the yellow line. He's gonna come back up.
Looks like he got a little loose on exit or caught that little glitch. There's some crazy battling back here. 2 and 3 wide and no contact. Oh,
Yeah, these
Thirst
guys
on
are
the
doing a
outside.
good job.
Yeah, they're doing
Good
great.
job
Giving each
staying
other
off
plenty of
those.
room.
Hey,
One other
Bob
thing-
slides up the track. Oh, and the 51 takes it from him.
One other thing
He's
we
going to
didn't
be
talk
hung out to
about
dry.
is this race has damage on.
Oh. Ooh. That changes things a little bit for
You
me
know-
as a driver.
Yeah, so these guys racing each other clean, even though they're 3 wide, you know, not laying into each other. I mean, you have to. If you make contact with that wall right now and get a little damage, you're out of the race while these other guys are going up here single file.
Yeah, most definitely, because you cannot pass. Absolutely, you pull out of the line with damage on your car, and you're done. You can kind of hang with them in the draft, but once you pull out, it's like you hit a brick wall. Looks like we got another pass for the lead. He went high trying to get him.
Yeah,
Looks
that's
like
not
that.
what Jay would wanted to see right there. He had
No.
a little bit of a lead, maybe even too much of a lead. They got the draft, and now they're looking to
Yeah, but
pass.
it looks like
Yeah,
the Bob
they're
that
gonna
helps
hang
the
him out
Bob.
to dry.
Oh,
Oh,
big
contact.
Robbie Vids.
Yeah,
Jake
Jake
Rube in a
Rube,
row.
67 out.
Robbie just took a hard hit in the inside wall, guys.
And there's your caution there. Probably do their pit stops now and be good for the rest of the race.
You know, I'm interested. Let's see if I can't find how many laps are remaining. We might be able to go without pitting. And some people may want the 4 freshies, and some people may want to opt to not pit.
Yep. If you were sitting in Jay Wood's position, would you follow suit with everybody and take tires that they did, or would you try to stay out?
If I'm Jay Wood, I'm not telling anybody what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting until they start showing their hands. Something about this game for any of our viewers, they do have to, when you push pit, everybody can see that you're pitting.
Yep. That's the way I do it. I always wait till the last second. Pit stop,
That's usually what I
shake
try to
things
do
up
too.
a good
Like
bit.
Right. I usually try to wait until like the last maybe 10 seconds.
Jay Wood
watch that
looks like
later.
Little Man.
Light up like a Christmas tree.
Looks like my driver sitting there in third.
Looks like Little
Might
Man
have
had
a
some
chance
strategy
now.
to get up there. As he passed 9 cars on that pit cycle. Looks like there's less than 10 to go. It looks like 8 laps, maybe 6. I couldn't quite tell what that was.
Yep.
So let's stick with the leaders here. So Bob's getting under Little Man. If I'm Little Man, I'm going to lift and fall right behind Bob. Perfectly executed. He needs to get back down to that bottom. Great job there by Little Man. Look, as now he's looking under a Bob.
Yeah,
A Bob to the outside of Jaywood, but it looks like Little Man's going to get that spot, and a Bob is going to go to the back as he did not get back down in time as the 08 of B. Smith was able to take that. And here comes Matt Thiessen in 4th.
And our points leader, Jake, is actually just sitting out riding in the back right now.
You know, there's still a lot to happen. If this is 5 to go, which I believe it is, that means there's 4 more laps of carnage probably before we get to that white flag. As you can see, the intensity has picked up as these tires are all over the place.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's getting down to the closing laps right now.
We're at that point, guys. If these guys leave 3/4 of a car length underneath them, somebody's going to stick their nose in.
Let's be honest, if you leave 1/4 of a car length, somebody thinks there's enough room at this stage of the race.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the 08 and 89 of Matt Thiessen. They're sitting right there.
And back in the mix after that wreck, here we have Robbie Vids sitting in 5th. Again, Matt Thiessen, Robbie Vids, those guys are, to me, the cat burglar seat. If you want to make the move, you're going to have people go with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to look and see who we got for teammates out here. I know that Little Man, him and Jay Wood, good friends. They're on the same team, so they're looking good here, P1, P2. However, that says to me that D. Smith has to be the one to make the move and try to get by both of those guys. But will Little Man be content on his debut back? Will he be content riding around following his partner, or does he want the victory himself?
I would have to say he'd probably be fine with following his partner, but he's going to want that win.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him hanging out last lap, last corner, coming out forward. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him hanging right out there.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because you want to hang it out, you want to get that win, but you don't want to make that move too early and lose 3-4 spots yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
It's kind of one of those you got to wait until this point, right around the trial. Now, Talladega's a little different than Daytona. It's a super speedway, but where the start-finish line is, you can come off 4, still following your partner, maybe have a little gap there in the middle of 3 and 4, then coming off 4, close in, and get that pass in the trial.
The way I usually try to set it up is I'll try to break a little bit coming into 3 and set up a little gap to first place. And then whenever I come off the corner, I try to dive high, and as long as somebody goes with you, you can make that work. But if nobody goes with you, you're going to fall like a rock.
We have some top contenders in that second pack. We have Jake, we have Kendall, we have the 86 in Bat Pack, we have Trey. Those guys have fallen back. That's your points leader in the 10 car back there.
Matt Thiessen up to 3rd now. He's got the 07 car pushing hard right now.
And look who's in 5th. Here you've mentioned it earlier. Last Saturday's preset Talladega winner, Bulk Crusher, is sitting in 5th. Yep. He got down on the apron a little bit there, but here he comes.
Ooh, contact.
Oh, Matt Thiessen, there goes contact.
It's a big one.
Big wreck, man. Big wreck. Those guys were getting a little antsy. Looked like he kind of caught the apron and come back up into him.
So if that wasn't the end of the race, which it could have been,
it was not the end of the race.
For sure.
We are going to overtime. Absolutely. Something else to point out, maybe add a little intrigue to this. Those such as Little Man that chose not to take fuel or tires or whatever this last stop, they have 5 laps of fuel. If we have a couple more of these overtimes, which I fully expect, it's Talladega, everyone's in the mix.
They're not going to make it.
2 laps to go, and you're going to have some of these front guys that are up here may have to pit and go to the rear.
Hey, Bob looks like he's not too happy with the 89.
Yeah, he looks a little upset, and I don't blame him. Somebody I'm looking at here, he was your pole sitter riding around in 5th. Another good spot, Woodruff Sport.
He was doing really well.
Ooh, Bulk trying to force his way down. As here comes Robbie Vids to P2. Is he going to? He needs to stay right on Jay Wood's tail. He cannot let Jay Wood and his teammate, a Little Man, hook back up again. And look who's coming up into 5th now. Points leader Jake Giroux has made his way back up through the field.
He knew there was going to be a big one, so he was kind of hanging back there for a few laps there.
I mean, you got to expect it in these types of races. Whether it happens or not, you got to expect it no matter what.
Yep, that's right.
These lead cars are staying single file. Anybody in this front pack does not want to caution. If you're in that back pack, the exact opposite is going through your mind right now. But what do? If you're running 4th and 5th, are you talking to each other through the communications, trying to go to the outside, or are you just going to be content where you are?
I'm definitely
gotta
trying
try
to
something.
communicate.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
We come to the white
driver's
flag
gonna
now.
sit content to run 5th.
Jake went to the outside. Nobody goes with him. They all drop to the inside. Jake's going to fall to the back of this front pack. This is the white flag. Next flag will be the final of the event.
Actually, if I was Jake, I would honestly be content riding 5th. The
Jake's
points
got a
leader,
good points lead. He doesn't care.
Exactly,
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. So you'd be content riding 5th right behind these guys.
It's funny you say that because he was the only one to stick out. Into 3 and 4. If somebody's going to make a move, it's going to happen shortly. Looks like Jake goes to the outside again. Looks like to no avail as nobody went with him. Little man to the outside. Here comes
You gotta go.
Woodruff, little man. They all go to the outside. Robbie Vids goes out there. He's on the outside. Oh, man.
Checkered flag waving.
Jay Wood.
Jay Wood holds on to it. Robbie Vids finishing P2. Great job.
Yeah, great
It's like
job.
Woodruff
Rob.
takes 4th place. Good job,
Bob
Woodruff.
3rd. Woodruff 4th. Bulk Crusher 5th to round out your top 5.
And again, guys, that was only our first race out of the 3 races we're having tonight.
Two
That's
more
right,
to
so
go, and
stick
the
around.
next 2 will both be longer.
Yep. Kansas is going to be a great track. You can really tell who's got what there because, like I said, Talladega is kind of like a roll of the dice. You never know what's going to happen. But Kansas is a little bit more of a technical track. You got to be good running the high line, and you got to be pretty good running on the edge from what I've seen you running there.
All right, on that note, guys, I'm going to end this broadcast so we can get ready to go to Kansas here shortly.